kaboom, kaboom. There we are. Good morning, Double R Radio. Thursday morning. Where we at? 8:33, April the 8th, 2021. I've done this thing so many times. There we go. Share. I don't know why this thing isn't working. I'm trying to do everything the way it's supposed to, but it's not doing it the way it's supposed to, but it's okay. We're going to figure it out. Getting ready to go live here. Let me see here. Where are we at? Con la tinta de mi sangre, el supergrupo más. Let's go live. Ba-doom, boom, doom, boom, doom. There we go, Joe and Jimmy y el supergrupo más con la tinta de mi sangre. Good morning, Double R Radio, 8:34, April the 8th, 2021. Stretch run towards the weekend, no doubt. Of course, tomorrow, Freeform Friday. If you think this is Freeform, this is nada yet until we do Freeform Friday. That's what it's all about. Anyways, before anything else, I want to give a big happy birthday to my son, Robert Rivas Jr., who is 38 years old, celebrating his 38th birthday. I love you with all my heart, my son. I'm telling you, my son has accomplished many, many things in his young life, and he has a whole lot more to go. And like I said, I applaud his efforts. I love his efforts. I love him, his family, my grandbabies. And like I said, happy birthday, my son. A quick little story about my son I'm going to share here quickly, and then we'll move on and start talking about a lot of stuff here. But one thing that I'll never forget about my son, back when he was 12, 13 years old, give or take there a little bit, by then I was already doing gigs on my own. I was away from the clubs, and I was doing weddings and debuts and backyard parties and all that other good stuff. Well, that being said, my son would come, be with me every weekend, right? Because, I wasn't married no more, so he'd come and be with me every weekend. My daughter was already bigger to it. She wanted to hang out with her friends, and, hey, Dad, sorry, I love you, but I want to hang out with the girls. I can respect that, but my son would come with me. That being said, my son, I would tell him sometimes on Saturday, I would tell him, we got a gig to do tonight. And he would help me, like load stuff up, set up on stage when we were done for the night, unhook wiring and everything. And and all those times, all those gigs that I did, where I would just blindside him, tell him, we got a gig tonight. Not once, and I mean not once, and I'm going with one, not once did he ever complain. Did he say, oh, Dad, I don't want to do that? I would have complained. I didn't want to do it, but I was doing it. Got to make the money, right? But not once did my son ever complain. He just come with me, help me out, do his thing, and like I said, that just shows a lot about the kind of person he is. And I'll say it one more time. I love you with all my heart. Happy birthday, mijo. Now, that being said, before I get all sentimental and I get all misty and everything. Anyways, good morning, shout out, good afternoon. Double R Radio sponsor, Roger Rivas. Primo, Roger Rivas, Mission City. Hotshot Delivery Services, also Double R Radio sponsor. Cindy Martinez Hernandez, San Antonio, Texas. Now, that being said, I gotta, before I get to my stories, man, you're not going to believe my story, and that's okay. That's all right. That's what I told my ex-wife. You're not going to believe what happened to me. That's why I came home at 5 in the morning. You're not going to believe me. No, I'm not. That's okay. That's all right. Yesterday, I was downtown. I was on the corner of Soledad and Houston. I needed to take a left turn, but I was at a red light. Okay, I'm at a red light. I need to take a left turn. And I'm at a red light. And I noticed, this is all true, I noticed this squirrel. This squirrel comes across the road from one side, and he stops right before my car. All true, right in the front. He stops, and I'm looking at the squirrel, and he's looking at me like, are you going to take off? And it was still a red light. I'm going like, no, go ahead, Mr. Squirrel. Go ahead, Mr. Squirrel. And he looked, and he was doing like, should I trust this guy or not? He's going like this. Kind of reminded me of me back in my disco days, looking at the girls. They used to call me El Windshield Wiper. I'm going like that. Well, anyways, the squirrel's looking at me, right? And I'm just like, go ahead, Mr. Squirrel. Go ahead. I'm not going to run you over. And lo and behold, man, the squirrel did like about 5 or 6 double takes, and he shot out there, man, and he went across the street. He ran up a tree. He stopped. He turned back and looked at me when I was turning, and I could have sworn he told me bye. I could have sworn he did that. Really? But that was crazy for that squirrel to stop right in front of my car and look like, you're not going to take off, are you? Man, I was impressed. I really, really was. Good morning, shout out again out to Tony Rivas, who says, good morning, primo. Happy birthday, primito. There we go. Appreciate it, primo. There we go. Good morning, shout out again out to Brian Jeller. There we go. Hyundai. What is it? What is it, Brian? Where do I go to and take my car and buy my cars from? Right. Red Macomb Superior Hyundai out there on 410 and Callahan Road. Good morning, amigo. Let's talk here, man. I got some stories for y'all. And then we'll go up here and we'll go the way down. Check this out. I didn't realize this. Now, that being said, Jan from the Brady Bunch, Jan Brady, right? Jan Brady, right? The Brady Bunch, right? Marsha, Jan. I didn't know this. I'm going to give you a crazy fun fact about Jan Brady, Eve Plum, Jan Brady. At the age of 11 years old, she bought a home back when she was 11 years old. Well, just the other day, she sold her home, and it sold for $3.9 million. But for an 11-year-old to buy a home back in the day, wow, talk about thinking about the future, right? For an 11-year-old to buy a home, that is crazy. It really, really is. That impressed me right there. That really, really did. Now, let's see here what else is going on. Now, check this out. Crazy story. Southwest Airlines. The other day I was asked, Robert, what airlines do you fly? Southwest. That's it. End of story. Southwest. That's it. I've never flown American, Continental, United. It's always been Southwest. Why? I don't know. I guess I'm just call me loyal. Well, anyways, check this out. A pilot from Southwest Airlines was arrested for actually coming out of the cockpit and performing a lewd act up in the air. How crazy is this, right? How in the hell does this happen? According to the people that were sitting down in the plane, they said they now have a new definition of liftoff. There we go. So anyways, it's crazy, right? That Southwest Airlines pilot was charged with a lewd act for allegedly exposing himself during a flight. And well, like I said, all the people inside the plane, they were saying, hey man, we didn't know we had entertainment as part of the package here. And there we go. So that's is that gonna make me change my mind about flying Southwest? No, it's not. Anyways, let's see here what else I got. Don't want to miss anybody here. What I'm doing, let's see. Let me go over here. And I'm going to go over here and click a little button over here, and there we go. Good morning, shout out to Double R Radio sponsor, Cynthia Gonzalez Ramirez, Houston, Texas. Good morning, amiga. How we doing? Esther Brian says, there you go. There we go, amigo. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Now let's see here what else is going on. I got some more stories for y'all. Check this out. This one cracks me up. A woman beat up another woman. Brooklyn, man, those women in Brooklyn, man, they like to throw chingazos. Well, anyways, a woman was at a Brooklyn laundromat when she ran out of detergent. Now, she told the lady that was washing clothes a couple of washers down, excuse me, can I have a little bit of your detergent? The woman told her no. The lady over here didn't like it, called her a couple of names. She called her a couple of names. Before you know it, they were all going at it, throwing chingazos and whatever the case may be, right, over detergent. Laundry detergent. Well, cops showed up, arrested them both, and one police officer told both ladies, do you realize by y'all fighting like this, you had nothing to gain? Gain detergent? Gain? No? No, that wasn't funny, right? Wasn't funny whatsoever. Okay, I'll save it for Friday. I'll say it again Friday. I promise you'll laugh tomorrow. Yes, you will. So anyway, both women were arrested, and now their clothes are still at the laundromat. Let's see what happens with their clothes. One more for you here. This is the one I was saving for y'all. There we go. This one here, man. This one here is let me see here. I don't want to miss anybody here. There we go. Pee Wee Herman. There we go. Check this out here, man. This is one here. Let me get some coffee. Cafecito. Burger King. Here we go. Burger King, Amarillo, Texas. Amarillo by morning, up from San Antonio. I know. Don't sing, Robert. I got you. I got you. Amarillo. A customer at Burger King pulled out a gun and started firing at the drive-thru staff. Why? Because they were taking too long. Hey man, even I get pissed off to the drive-thru, but I'm not going to pull out a gun or anything. Well, this woman here got pissed off because she said that the drive-thru line was going entirely too slow. When she finally got to the window, she pulled out a gun and said, "Come on, this. Let's see if we can speed things up around here." Cranked up her gun and started shooting. Wow. Wow. That's crazy, right? And anyways, as the not customers, but employees claimed that they could identify the woman because the woman drove off. She drove off, but before she drove off, she stopped her car. She dropped something outside. She got out of her car, and her nagas were showing. Got back in the car and drove off. But the employee said that they could identify the woman. And the cop said, what did she look like? How tall she was? They didn't know any of that. But the employee said the way they could identify the woman was because the woman had sesame seed buns. No, that wasn't funny either, right? No, the Burger King sesame seed buns? No? All right, then we'll move on. There we go. Forget about that one. You guys are tough this morning. You really, really are. You know, I'm going to share a quick little story here. Yesterday evening, I had a conversation with Abraham Quintanilla, of course, Selena's father. And we talk here and there, and we hadn't talked in a while. So we talked for about an hour, man. We were chismeando, talking about this and that, blah, 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 blah. And he told me a story, a quick story. I don't think he'll get mad at me sharing this story. He told me a story that after they did the Selena movie, and it was about a year after they did the Selena movie, they had a comedy roast for Abraham Quintanilla. I didn't realize this. I didn't know. I mean, I never knew they had a roast for Abraham Quintanilla, but they had a roast. Comedy roast. You know, if you don't know what that means that they get a whole bunch of people, comedians or whatever, and they put them down. Hey, man, I didn't think Abraham would be up to that, right? Abraham, would you like to come to a roast? That's where we're going to get a bunch of people to put you down. Okay. I never thought he would do that, but he did. And he was telling me a story that he was sitting down right next to Edward James Olmos, right? He was sitting right next down to him. And some female comedian came out, and female comedian came out and said, "Wow, Abraham was right." And she goes, "You're probably wondering what I'm talking about." She says, "Well, Abraham called me while they were filming the movie Selena, and he tells me, I can't believe they got Edward James Olmos to portray me. I'm not that ugly." And he said that Edward James Olmos turned around, looked at him, and gave him a dirty look. Like he believed him. So then Abraham confronted the comedian when the show was done, and he wasn't mad. He said, "Why did you say that? Now Edward James Olmos is all pissed off at me." Right? He might have an American Me flashback, right? But that's crazy. I never realized that they had a comedy roast for Abraham Quintanilla. I would have loved to have been there. I would have loved to have been a part of that. Let's keep it going, La Mafia. Good morning, Double R Radio. How we doing, everybody? Thursday morning it is, and where are we at? 8:47. Let me see here. Don't want to miss anybody. We're good to go. We're good to go. We'll go right over here. We'll click right there. There we go. I think we're all good to go. Let's get back to the morning show. Join me now. robertrivasradio.com. Simple. robertrivasradio.com. Join me now.